This film is all about encouraging you to get involved with coaching, no matter what age you are, whether you're 14 years old or enjoying your retirement years. There are over 700 sports clubs in Highland, the majority of which are run by volunteers. Becoming a sports coach is much easier than you think, and there are lots of people and organisations there to help you. There's even financial support for you to gain coaching qualifications. This film will try to answer some of the questions you may have. You don't need to be an expert in sport or even know very much about it. If you decide you do want to help out, you can work with someone at the club for as long as you need while you learn the ropes, before you even think about getting a qualification or coaching by yourself. It's important to remember that coaching is fun and gives you a great sense of achievement. You can make a difference as you help young people grow and develop their own sporting potential. You can coach or assist at whatever level you like, and your help would be really valued by the club and its members. You're going to hear from 4 coaches working at different levels whose wealth of experience will help you to take the next step. Let's hear from Robbie Paulin, Peter Law, Sarah Norton and Steve McKinnon on how they got started.
I got into coaching probably through mainly the interest of my family. They used to watch American football when it was on Channel 4 back in the 80s. And then I started to get into the Scottish Claymores when NFL Europe had their sort of big push to try and promote American football in Britain and the UK and Europe. And that's where it stemmed from, really. I think generally, as long as you've got the enthusiasm, it's quite easy to get into coaching. There's plenty of opportunities there. It's just about getting experience.
I think it was quite daunting as a teenager because you're not dealing with kids as you would, say a formal setting. But I think for any teenager that's going into working with children, even adults, can be quite daunting. So I think the best probably advice is just to get in and volunteer as much as you can.
Well, I go to Granton Grammar School, and our sports coordinator there, Mr. Leahy, he approached me because he knows me through my skiing and other sports that I help out with in school, and he said if I wanted the opportunity to do it, and I said yeah.
I was asked by the professionals, do you want to go on an instructor course, because we're running one in the next couple of weeks. I thought, well, why not, it'll teach me to paddle better. I was more a skier previously, through for many years. I hadn't really done anything kayaking wise, apart from 2 or 3 days here and there, which I enjoyed but never got the bug for. The course is very, very river intensive, so I've got the bug for whitewater there, and I just straight into it. Soon afterwards started the Inverness Canoe Club and started coaching, and things just progressed from there. So I coached to help out the outdoor education team at that point, but started the club and started voluntary coaching alongside it.
As you have heard, there are many ways to get started in coaching. There are fantastic support mechanisms available to coaches and volunteers in the Highlands. These include courses, qualifications and workshops. An introduction to coaching can begin with a sports leadership course for those with no sporting knowledge, and continues all the way through to the highest level of coaching qualifications available, including UK coaching certificates. When you look into it, the coaching pathways are well defined and easy to understand. There are a whole range of other courses to broaden your knowledge: first aid, good practice when coaching children, and how to coach disabled people in sport are just a few examples. A directory of courses running in the Highlands is widely available. Coaching Highland and local sports councils can provide funding and advice, with further support available from Volunteering Highland, professional sports development officers, and of course other people within the club itself. They all started somewhere, just like you are thinking of doing today. So let's hear more about the support you can expect.
The Blitz is a club we found it quite easy to work with partner organisations like Volunteering Highland and Coaching Highland. We provide their volunteers with the opportunity to come and get experience with us, and in return we're obviously getting people involved in our sport. Coaching Highland has helped us a lot with funding. It allows coaches to come along and do the coach education courses without having to take the money out of their own pocket, which is fantastic, because in the end the coaches are volunteering their time and they deserve support, and I think that's where it's been a fantastic resource for us. I find the website a great resource, or even just for advice, just calling them up and asking, for any kind of advice. Again, the coaching resource library, all of a sudden coaches don't have to go out and buy their own books, they don't have to research what they need to buy. They can go there and, because they are volunteering their time in the end, so they're already giving up that, so they deserve that support. Whenever you phone up Coaching Highland, there's generally somebody there to help out. It is a really good organisation, and I encourage anybody to just give them a call and speak to them.
Back in the old days, we had the sports development officer who'd point you at avenues of funding, but they didn't really hold budgets themselves. weren't able to help you personally themselves. It's an advice sort of support mechanism. So you went out and did it the hard way, really. Luckily, the support mechanisms were kind of put in place along those times. We got some area sports council grants. They've always been very, very good to us and continue to be. And it's really easy to access that money. Then Coaching Highland came in the back of it. We've got invited on board, and that's just been great because you've got set funding for the year. You know you can push people to go forward for things. You can say to them, look, there is funding there. And that's got easier as well. Now there's a website you can just fill in online and request funding.
So I use Volunteering Highland to recruit potential coaches for our programs for the children. In terms of Coaching Highland, I've used them quite a lot with my volunteers, so enabling activities to become sustainable. I myself have put myself onto the sport-specific courses, and I've also encouraged volunteers to come along to those sessions with me, and then I lead the sessions and then I step back so that these activity and clubs are sustainable for the children. The scholarships, I can say, are extremely beneficial. Personally, I've used them myself to gain my levels within the cricket. It initially began working as an active schools coordinator and the sport-specific development officer. We ran through the Quick Cricket program, we put that through the schools. That then led to a festival, and then that then linked to the club's development. So for example, Northern Counties Cricket Club, we had 50 kids rocking up on the first junior night. That was an amazing achievement to see. And then Coaching Highland supported our development as coaches, going from level 1 now up to level 2 in UKCC. So coaching grants, I think, are fantastic. Obviously, I'm from Australia, and I've been living in the Highlands for almost 4 years. And going from Australia, that's very much their culture is sport. I would hope to think that someone like Coaching Highland could enhance or increase the opportunities for children, adults, elderly in the Inverness area and the Highlands, so that this does become a culture.
Hopefully this has highlighted some of the avenues of help and support available to you. Everyone in sport is required to take child protection seriously, and the process for this is made as simple as possible. It's likely that you will be asked to have a disclosure check if you become a volunteer, but this is simply a case of filling out a form and leaving the rest to the club. While coaching is fun, rewarding and challenging, it also lets you meet lots of new people. Peter and Sarah share how easy it is to get started.
To start, basically, okay, and work with the coaches within your club. So for example, if you're in a netball club or a swimming club, just sitting and watching your kids take part. As your experience and confidence grows, do the water carrying, bring along sandwiches, whatever, scoring, things like that. There's lots of different opportunities within a club situation.
Well, I got my basic skills that I can use on all sports now, and that means I can go out and teach other kids or adults. I think they should just go for it. It's good, it's worthwhile. It may take up some of your spare time or anything, but in the long run it's worth it.
So there you have it. Coaching is an exciting and rewarding activity which is open to anyone, and we hope that you will decide to get involved. It doesn't matter if you're still in school, a parent, retired, or just interested in sport generally. With over 700 sports clubs out there, your help and enthusiasm will be welcome. Coaching Highland offers one-to-one advice, support and financial assistance to hundreds of coaches every year. Give them a call if you've got a question, or visit coachinghighland.co.uk, where you'll discover a list of coaching courses available, coaching grants for courses or workshops, booklets advising on all the roles within a club, a discussion forum for coaches, free websites which are easy to create and edit yourself, and lots of additional resources for sports clubs and coaches. Let's hear some final thoughts from Robbie.
I think people that are sitting here watching the film probably think that it's for the guy next to them or the girl sitting next to them. But what you've got to try and think about, if you're wanting to get into coaching, this film is for you. And it's to try and encourage people to get into coaching. In the end, this film is made for you, to try and encourage you to volunteer your time and get something out of it.